Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 haunted dolls caught moving on camera. So, dolls are supposed to be fun and innocent toys for kids to play with, but as we all know from movies such as Chucky and Annabelle, dolls can be very creepy, but they can't really come to life. Or can they? Watch these scary videos and decide for yourself. But before you get too frightened, be sure to subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10 is Head Turner. So this video is very scary. It's thought to be shot somewhere in South America, but I'm not sure in which country. The video is a home movie taken by a dad of his daughter and her doll. Everything appears normal at first and the dad's simply chatting with the daughter. He then realizes the doll's head slightly moves. He mentions it to his daughter, who looks down at the doll. But as she does this, the doll's head spins right round. It's almost as if the doll was turning to look up at the daughter. The daughter then very appropriately screams and throws the doll on the ground. You may think that's an overreaction, but if my doll stared right into my eyes, I'd be creeped out too. Not that I have a doll, of course. Please don't tell anyone my secrets. And what makes it even scarier is this is a basic doll that most kids have. It's not even one of those old-fashioned creepy dolls like the Annabelle doll. This is a modern, regular doll which seems to be haunted. Check out the video and let me know if this doll is really haunted or if there's another explanation.
Tô filmando. Ah, mas vai se falar. Caralho. Dora, a boneca tá se mexendo. Se mexendo.
Next up is quinceañera doll. So in Hispanic girls' lives, a quinceañera is a very important moment. It marks the time when they go from a girl to a woman. And the tradition for quinceañeras is to get a doll. The doll is decorated like the girl receiving it. And it's supposed to be the last toy they ever get, as they're transitioning from a girl to a woman. Now that would be all very nice and special unless your quinceañera doll happens to be haunted. Well, that is exactly what happened in this clip. This girl had just got done with celebrating her quinceañera. Her mother was filming her and her quinceañera doll, and they were having a nice time. She was simply recounting how good the day was, and that was when her doll went angry. Her doll appears to turn to her in a very angry and sarcastic way, almost as if she just dissed the doll and the doll snapped at her. Now, this may seem funny to you, but this girl was terrified. She let out a massive scream and threw the doll. Some people have said this video seems fake, but the girl's reaction seems very genuine. I'm so glad I don't have to have a quinceañera, as I would hate to have a haunted doll on my hands. I wonder how much sleep this girl got that night. I assume not much, especially if that doll was sitting up all night in her room with her. This video is bound to give even the manliest men chills.
Bueno, aquí les presentamos a la muñeca de Betty que se la regalaron a sus 15 años.
Ay, no manches, mira.
Bueno, aquí les presentamos a la muñeca de Betty que se la regalaron a sus 15 años.
Ay, no manches, mira.
Next up is Barbies. So you may think only quinceañera dolls or classic creepy dolls are haunted, but this video proves that even American commercial dolls can be haunted too. Barbie dolls are the most popular brand of dolls in the world. But according to this video, somehow one girl got her hands on a haunted Barbie. So one day a girl was in her room playing with her Barbie dolls. She gave each of them a voice and was playing out a story with them as kids do. That was when her father called her out of her room. Now, as kids, there's nothing worse than this happening, as you have to interrupt your game. Well, it seems like this girl didn't want to interrupt her game, so she shouted back no. But it seems that one of her Barbie dolls is on her dad's side, as she gives her a bad look. The blonde Barbie doll turns in a disapproving manner at the girl after shouting at her dad. The girl then screams and throws the dolls in the air, and she's so scared and shocked she even falls off her bed. Perhaps this dad took the doll to a psychic to get it haunted to teach his daughter a lesson. I bet you the next time the dad calls this daughter out of her room, she won't be saying no. But what do you think? Is this Barbie some kind of genius parenting device? Or is it simply a very creepy and haunted Barbie that needs to be thrown in the trash? In fact, the trash isn't secure enough. This is going in the garbage disposal.
Oi, amiga, tudo bem? Mas já com uma coluna, sei lá, você se mexia. O que aconteceu com você? Ah, fala uma coisa, o rato começou a língua.
Sora, vem comer!
Tá bom! Oi, amiga, tudo bem? Mas só com uma coluna, sei lá, você se mexia.
Next up is Ouija Bear. So we all know Ouija boards. They're supposed to be haunted boards that you ask questions to. Then, depending on the spirit inside the board, you'll either get a yes or no answer. Now, usually Ouija boards are said to possess external spirits, but there have been reports that Ouija boards can possess other things around you. Well, that is exactly what happened in this video. A group of guys are playing with a Ouija board. They set the camera up hoping to capture a ghost. They think they don't capture anything, but after they look back at the footage, they realize they've captured much more than a ghost. So the guys were using the Ouija board but weren't getting any luck. However, nobody realizes that the teddy bear on the dresser behind them is moving around. It appears that somehow the Ouija board has possessed this bear and has given it the ability to move. Do you think a Ouija board could really make a bear come to life, or is something else happening here? I think if this was a fake video, the men would have acknowledged the bear and given a reaction, but seeing as they didn't, perhaps this is real. The really creepy thing is, a few times the bear looks down at the guys as if the Ouija board is directly related to the teddy bear. At some points, the man on the left actually looks up at the bear. Perhaps he thought he saw the bear move out of the corner of his eye, but the bear stops moving every time this happens, so the guy likely brushed it off. Just imagine the looks on these guys' faces after they review the footage and realize this bear was possessed by the Ouija board. Afterwards, the guy mentions the bear and the guys even look at it. And when they do this, they pick it up, confirming there's no strings attached to this bear. Watch the video and let me know in the comments what you think was going on in this video. Next up is moving puppet. So, I'm not sure if this was just me, but as a kid, did you ever find puppet shows kind of creepy? There's just something about them which seems unsettling. Well, in this case, you would be right. At a museum, they had an old puppet. However, every day when the staff would come in, the puppet would be in a different position. Now, they thought somebody was breaking in and trying to steal the puppet, but not being able to. So one night, they set up a camera to try and solve this mystery. But the video captured way more than they bargained for. The video clearly shows the puppet moving around on its own. Now, the puppet's in a glass case, so this couldn't be string or something else. Also, the puppet only moves a slight bit, and its head doesn't move at all. So this video isn't as dramatic as some of the others on this list, but it's very realistic and creepy. Yeah, if I worked at that museum, I would quit instantly. Just imagine having to spend your working day around a haunted puppet. It's creepy enough having to spend my working day talking about haunted puppets, let alone being near one. Next up is Haunted Doll Challenge. So one day a YouTuber bought a haunted doll. He decided to do a challenge where he would put it in the back of every single video. He was going to do this for an entire month or until the doll moved. So he found a haunted doll online which the seller said moved on its own. For weeks and weeks nothing happened with this doll and he was very disappointed, as were his viewers. They felt like they'd been scammed and the doll wasn't really haunted. But one day the YouTuber made a video about how to add him on Google+. While he was talking about adding him on Google+, all of a sudden the doll moves. Now, at the time, he didn't realize this. And it was only until the comment section notified him that he realized this doll was haunted. The YouTuber called Spunkflung then posted more updates about the doll. He said he could hear it at night whispering and laughing. And he also said that electronics with batteries nearby would drain suddenly. Later on, things get even more scary and the doll says things like no ghost and free me. Now, I'm not sure what these means or if it's even real, but the YouTuber claims it is and the comment section believes him. And I have to say, these videos do seem very realistic, but what do you think?
Click add to circles and then just click following. That'd be awesome. It'll only take like a few seconds and that'll get me to 1,000 followers, like a few seconds, and that'll get me to 1,000 followers.
No, help.
helpless.
Next up is chilling with a doll. Have you ever been sitting on your couch watching TV with a big doll? Yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody has, but for some reason this guy was. It was likely his sister's doll or something, but anyway, he was sitting on the couch and the doll was next to him. Now, it's a pretty large doll, but everything seems normal. He was simply on his phone and watching TV and his friend was filming him. That is when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the doll's head shifts around. The doll looks right at the guy and he jumps up in fright. I 100% don't blame him, as this doll seems very creepy. I have to say, this does seem the least realistic video on this list. That is because there's seemingly no reason why his friend was filming him in the first place. However, I can't see any string attached to this doll's head, and you can even see behind the guy and nobody was pulling any string, so perhaps this is done by electronics. What do you think about this video? Is it real or fake? And if it was real, why was the friend filming, and why do these guys have a giant doll in their lounge? If this video does turn out to be real, then it raises way more questions than if it was fake. Next up is Hands Up. This video was filmed in 2010 and is very scary. One family had an old doll in one of their rooms. However, every morning when they woke up, the doll appeared to be in a different position. It would either be slouched over or its arms would be in a different place. They weren't sure what was going on, so they set up a camera one night. And that camera captured the scariest thing this family could ever imagine. At exactly 2 AM, this doll's arms moved up in the air. Perhaps this doll thought it was at the club and wanted to wave its hands in the air. Or maybe this doll is possessed by some kind of spirit which wanted to move it around. Now, the doll didn't fly or turn its head, and thanks to that, this has led me to think this clip may be real. I feel like if this family was going to fake the clip, they'd make it more interesting. But the fact that this doll doesn't do much makes it all the more realistic and scary. Take a look at the clip and get ready to be scared. Next up is Nutcracker. So Nutcrackers are very old traditional toys. They're usually used at Christmas. But they can also be kind of scary as they have very large mouths and move around like a marching soldier. And the funny thing about these traditional German toys is that they were actually made for good luck. They were designed back in the 17th century to keep bad spirits away. But it seems that the Nutcracker in this video is possessed by a bad spirit. The guy who recorded this clip says the Nutcracker's been in his family for 40 years. And it's an old legend in the family that it's haunted. Now, he didn't believe this and he set up a camera on it simply as a joke. But what he caught on camera was no joke. A few hours into the video when nobody's in the room, the Nutcracker starts moving around. You can even see the guy's dog look at it in a very scared way and then run off. And as dogs are supposed to be able to sense ghosts, this makes it all the more realistic. I'll show the video sped up to make the movement more obvious, but it's very, very scary, so check it out. Next up is Walking Doll. So this is one of the most mysterious and unsolved clips you'll ever see. The video was taken in 2016. The video is taken in 2016 in a South American country. It shows a Hispanic grandma walking with a life-size doll. But the scary thing is, the doll's legs appear to move like a human's. When the grandma picks up the doll, its feet don't swing around at all and they stay stationary. The woman's grandson then tries to do the same thing, but the doll won't move. It appears this doll only walks with the grandma. Perhaps this is because the doll is the grandma's quinceañera doll. I really can't explain this video and it seems very scary, but this family seemed to be more endeared and amused by this. If I had this haunted doll in my family, it would be getting kicked out on the road. And no offense, creepy life-size doll, but I do not need you in my life. Check out the video and let me know if you would want your doll to come to life or not. I vote definitely not.
¿Y usted también? Ah, Rosita. ¿Y nada más con usted camina, señora? A ver, güey. ¿Necesitan hablarle o así?
Check out the poll in the top right corner and vote for the scariest doll on this list.